In this video, I'm going to show you how to run and deploy the new Flux Kontext Dev model that was just released 4 days ago from Black Forest Labs. This is the most advanced image editing and in-painting model there is. And I'm going to show you exactly how to set it up on Runpod with ComfyUI, and then how to generate absolutely amazing YouTube thumbnails as an example. So firstly, why is Flux Kontext so important? It basically allows you to take any input image and then specify what you want to have changed. For example, you can remove things, you can change the background, you can change the entire scenery, and it is incredibly realistic. It also allows for contextual understanding, it allows for character consistency, and it is absolutely incredible. I'm very, very certain this will change absolutely how image editing is done in the future. So this is an absolutely crucial model to understand going forward if you do anything with social media, anything with images. So definitely super, super cool thing to learn. Wonderful. That being said, let's jump into Runpod and ComfyUI. This is what we will be generating. So basically, YouTube thumbnails. This is just these are just a few examples, but you can basically see that with this being deployed on Runpod, we can generate images very, very fast with very high quality, and for a fraction of the cost that we can just using normal APIs. So very, very cool. So let's get started with setting up the model on Runpod. Firstly, we're going to sign in. We're going to load up the balance. You can just go to billing and then top it up. I think the minimum is like $10. Just make sure to properly shut down pods once you have no use for them anymore, because they are reasonably expensive. But if you heavily use it, then it is absolutely worth it. So we're going to go to pods. We're going to then deploy a new one. We're going to go with the L40S. You can actually see that they have a very good visual indicator of how many images per second it can generate. So obviously the higher you go, the more images you can generate per second. The lower the reverb is, the less images you can do per second. Same goes for cost, by the way, so just make sure that you choose the right trade-offs. Wonderful. So we're just going to go with L40S. We're going to go to change template, and we're going to go with context, and then we are going to choose the local app Flux Kontext Dev ComfyUI. Select that, choose a name such as context pod, and then just click on deploy. Wonderful. If that is done, I've already set it up. If that is done, it probably takes around 10 minutes to initialize, to download the model, etc. Might be faster for you. In my last run, it took around 10 minutes. So don't get confused if this takes a bit longer. That's perfectly normal. So just make sure that you give it enough time. So if you've done this and go back to pods, I have already one running. You should see that the connect button here, if you click on it, shows both the ComfyUI and the Jupyter Lab in ready state. If that is the case, that's perfect. Then we're ready to go. Just click on ComfyUI, and it will start the ComfyUI interface, and that's exactly what we want. Perfect. So that's basically how you set up Runpod. So let's jump into how to do the ComfyUI setup next. So now that we have ComfyUI set up, we're going to actually create the workflow. Before we do that, one thing that's very, very important: ComfyUI is a very complex tool. It has a very steep learning curve. So I think it's absolutely best to start off with existing workflows instead of creating your own. There is a template library that you can just, if you go to workflow, browse templates, you can see quite a few. for our specific use case, we will actually go with one that already exists in the Flux examples page on this website. You need to link it down below so you can just use it. So these images here have metadata attached, which is going to be incredibly handy. So we can literally just take the image here, click on it, go to the workspace here, drop it in, and it generates the workflow that has generated this particular image. And if we zoom in, we can basically see the prompt. We can see all the nodes that have been used. And yeah, I think you can already see the complexity. If you break it down, it isn't as complex. For example, like width, height nodes, I think are very intuitive. But like, for example, what is like clip text encode? What is VAE encode, reference latent? All of these things are highly complex. So I definitely suggest just going with like workflows if you're starting and then working your way up. So that being said, what we're going to do is we are going to firstly click on the load diffusion model node, and it should show the like our own model. Once that is done, we are pretty much ready to go. The only thing we still have to do is load an image in. So because this is an image editing model, or an image inpainting model basically, we have to either upload one or take one that's already uploaded. I don't think this is necessarily, so we're just going to choose one. I'm going to go with myself. You can obviously take whatever you like. Once this is uploaded, this should be previewed. And right, so the next thing is we have to actually change the prompt to something meaningful. So I'm just going to paste in a prompt that I've used for YouTube thumbnail generation. And you're going to see why in a second. So it's just like basically a dramatic portrait of the person in a dark blue hoodie against a well-lit moody blue background, etc., etc. One key tip I have for getting those prompts, like prompts here make an absolutely massive difference. Take in any image that you really like as a YouTube thumbnail, put this into Claude or ChatGPT, drop the image in and ask it to generate a prompt for Flux or for Stable Diffusion, whatever. And then you generate, and then you get those really good, really specific prompts. Yeah, just fine tune that until you've got a good result, and then basically you are good to go. Once that is done, you just click on run, and you see that the nodes are actually executing. This will, I think the first run might be a bit slower. I think the first run might take a minute. Afterwards, images I think usually take around 20 seconds to generate. And yeah, that being said, if you then just go to, okay, cool, you can actually see something already. Right, so that is the output. And we can just like rerun the process until we don't want it anymore. You can definitely see that like it got my face quite well. Also, the image here is not of the highest quality, or like the biggest size. So I think there are a lot of things to play around with, but we can literally go from like a random photo of myself to a highly optimized thumbnail that if we just add a few more things, such as like text or like a logo here, I think we can get an amazing result with, yeah, like a few seconds of wait time. So if you go to Q, you can actually see past results. You can, for example, also see that there's quite a difference. So you definitely want to like generate quite a few models, or like quite a few different images, and just see what like works best. For example, I think this one already is quite a bit better. This one I think is also pretty cool. And we just want to minimize weird things in the image and look for very high quality and fitting images. Right, so that being said, this is basically how Flux Kontext Dev image generation on Runpod and ComfyUI works. If you have any questions, let me know. But yeah, it's pretty simple, and you can generate much more videos, much more images for a fraction of the cost. And you can, because it is an open weights model, you can also add fine tunes, LoRa's, etc. So yeah, super cool to just try out and generate a bunch of stuff with.